Morning and welcome to the Friday edition of the Icu TV's Breakfast Show. Remember, this is a show that comes to you on a Monday, Wednesday, as well as Friday. Well, I am your host, Mishe Kinjakwa Edgars, and on behalf of the entire ICU production crew, and on behalf of my director, Emmanuel Zimba, well, we are welcoming you to this beautiful edition and a great lineup of things, that are coming your way this morning. And thank you so much for allowing us into your houses, into your vehicles. And please do not watch this while you're driving. Make sure you just listen, just observe the audio, and in case you are in the comfort of your home, you are welcome. Now, this is not just my show or the ICU TV show. Feel free to get interactive with us via the comment section. A lot of things have happened lately, and what is on my mind this morning is how far we've come as a nation. Over 60 years of independence, and Zambia has proven to be one of the peaceful democracies in Africa as well as the world at large. And the other thing that is on my mind this morning is how young people have stepped up in terms of leadership positions. They are now self-aware, and my question is, are we doing enough as parents to make sure that the boy child is also matching up to the girl child that we have created? A lot of things have happened of late, and these things have been happening in that the girl child has been disadvantaged for a long period of time. But then a lot of sermons have been preached, a lot of motivations, a lot of sensitizations. We've produced a girl child who is able to speak for herself, a girl child such as Olivia Tutu, Ruth Ngoma, Mizinga Melu, the former Vice President, Madam Inonge Mtukwawina, as well as Dr. Mtali Nalumango. So now, we've raised a responsible girl child. What is happening with regards to the boy child? Is the boy child that we're raising today going to be equal or going to be supportive with regards to the girl child that we have raised today? A lot of conversations have been sparked over such issues where the boy child feels to be left out in a way or two. So even as we are pulling up the girl child by empowering the girl child, let's also empower the boy child with the necessary knowledge, skill sets, and let the boy child feel that when the girl child is succeeding, that girl child is not a competition to this boy child. So those plus more are some of the issues that are just burning on my mind. And in case you've got something on your mind, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And after this break, we get straight into the stories making headlines as of this morning, and from there we'll look at what is trending on social media. We'll also look at what is happening in terms of which newspaper headlines we're going to pick. Stay tuned after this. Thank you so much for still staying tuned to the ICU TV's Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show. And now the stories in detail. 4 people have died and 36 others have been injured in a road traffic accident along the Great East Road in the Lukwipa area of Lufunsa district. Now, the accident happened around 11 hours and involved a Power Tools Kampanzongton public service bus and a Volvo truck and a trailer. Zambia Police Service Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi said preliminary investigations indicate that the truck driver, aged 25, Paul Banda, of Sinda district, moved into the opposite lane while trying to avoid a stationary vehicle and collided head-on with the oncoming bus. The deceased have been identified as bus driver Ask Mulobela and his son and conductor Innocent Mulobela. and track passengers Fortune Mwanza, while the fourth victim remains unidentified. Mr. Chilabi said 35 of the 57 passengers on the bus were injured and are receiving treatment at Mpasha Mission Hospital, together with the truck driver, who is in a serious condition. The bodies have been deposited at the hospital mortuary pending identification as well as post-mortem examination while police investigations continue. It's a moment of silence for the lost lives, and it's very unfortunate to witness such activities online or physically, and no one wants to have their life, cut short, and very sad to the driver as well as his son. Quite a young soul that has been lost, full of life. And speaking of this same accident, this morning I was looking at the social media, Facebook to be precise. I saw our popular filmmaker Cosmas Ngandwe saying the deceased are his relatives. Condolences to the bereaved family, and wishing the injured the quickest recovery possible. And let's just reiterate the importance of having patience on the road, and to the drivers, do not overtake in blind spots. You are better off delayed and safe than rushing and not safe. So please, let's work hand in hand with the relevant authorities, even as they see to it that such activities and occurrences have been brought to a stop. And I believe, as we have read in the story, the investigations with regards to the further cause of this accident are yet to be reviewed, as well as identifications of these people who were involved. In case one of your relatives traveled or hasn't been around, please take this as an opportunity to just go through and identify these individuals. So we continue with the stories this morning. National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity presidential candidate Brian Mondobile, as well as his running mate Makebi Zulu, are in police custody as investigations into an alleged offense of treason intensify. Zambia Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chelabi said they too have been interviewed by investigators and have recorded warn and caution statements connecting with the alleged offense of treason under Section 431 of the Penal Code and Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. Mr. Chelabi said police will provide further information on the circumstances surrounding the matter as investigations progress. Quite, nothing to comment about that story, because it is a story that is still under investigations, and we await more information with regards to this as the relevant authorities conclude in their investigations. Just a word of advice to my fellow Zambians to just leave whatever it is that is going on in the hands of the relevant authorities. You wouldn't really want to be found on the other side of the law, do you? Definitely not. So whatever is going on, at the end of the day, Zambia is bigger than all of us. We are one Zambia, one nation, regardless of the political affiliations, regardless of the religions that we believe in. If you don't believe in God, if you believe in yourself or other things, or anything that you hold dear to you, at the end of the day, we are one people, we are one Zambia, one nation. Let love lead, and a lot of things are coming up. And stay tuned, as on the other side, I'll be reviewing newspaper headlines.
ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
are the best graduating students, masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education. We are the
Tuned to the ICU TV's Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. Remember, we're here to keep you informed and inspired. And right about now, we are having a look at what is happening in the print media, perhaps the newspaper headlines. And from the news diggers dated Friday, August 28th, 2026, we have explained judiciary closure. And this is coming from the Law Association of Zambia, demanding an explanation for the closure of the judiciary, as well as more. Plus, this is found on page 2 of the News Diggers newspaper dated today. And this newspaper is just 15 kwacha. You can get it online as well as a soft copy. Please read and make sure you are informed. Another headline is police quiz detain Mondebele Makebi over militia as Dio faces treason. More of this story, and I think I've even read in my preamble of the show, is on the page 2 on the Zambia Daily Mail newspaper. We have the Commonwealth congratulates HH, and we know why they are congratulating him, because he has emerged victorious in the 2026 general election as a president-elect of the Republic of Zambia. And indeed, congratulations are in order. So these congratulatory message, I beg your pardon, is on page 2 of the Zambia Daily Mail. We have more stories, as well as we also tend to find the 4 dead, 36 injured in Power 2's bus accidents. We also have this story on page 2. Inflation drops to 6.2%, as the story is on page 4. A lot of mixed feelings have been received with regards to the drop of inflation. A lot of people are asking questions to say, why is inflation dropping when the cost of living with regards to the food basket remains high? So those are some of the debate questions that are arising with regards to inflation. And in case you've got a different view, feel free to drop it in the comment section, and we will be able to read right here and right now. We move on to the Zambia Daily Mail. We have HH inauguration is on. So President Hakainde Hichilema is set to be inaugurated for the second term of office this coming Tuesday, next week on the 1st of September, right there at the National Heroes Stadium here in Lusaka. So the swearing in is set for September 1, as no petition is filed. This is according to a statement issued by Mr. Patrick, I beg your pardon, Kangwa, who is the secretary to the cabinet. We have HH believer in good governance and didn't order court closure. This story is just on the front page of the Zambia Daily Mail, and we have hiding. So this is a statement coming from Mr. Magila. It is also on the first page of the Zambia Daily Mail. 79 arrested as targeted government systems, and this is an arrest issued or carried out by the Drug Enforcement Commission. So those are some of the stories that you're going to find in both the Zambia Daily Mail as well as the News Diggers. So plus, for these and other stories, feel free to follow us on our various social media platforms. That is ICU TV Zambia on our website, and that is ICU TV on Facebook, ICU TV News, as well as our LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. And allow me to make this beautiful shout out to you, our viewers. We are a few meters away from 100,000 followers. Tell a friend to tell a friend that wonderful things are coming. You never know, we might just organize that free giveaway. So that is what is happening with regards to the newspaper headlines. And in case you want to read more for better understanding, feel free to grab yourself your copies, or better still, visit these respective newspapers online as they have soft copies. We take another break. When we come back, I'll be diving into your favorite segment, and that is what is trending on social media.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance, qualifications, National Registration Card, NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Well, this is the Friday edition of the ICU TV's Breakfast Show, and it is right at your favorite segment, what is trending on the streets of social media. It could be any social media platform. It could be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any, as long as it is social media. We source it, we verify it, and we bring it right to your screens. So first and foremost, we have Boogeyman Zambia has become a name many Zambians are talking about online. But who exactly is this Boogeyman, and why was his personality captured? Why has this personality captured so much attention? So have a look at this clip and tell me what you think.
My fellow Zambians, after my first broadcast, one question has followed Boogeyman everywhere. Why are you wearing a mask? Some have said the mask means I am afraid. Some have said it means I have something to hide. Others have said Boogeyman is here to incite Zambians. They call upon law enforcement agencies to trace Boogeyman, unmask him, and arrest him. So today, let me explain. The mask is because I am concerned about what appears to be happening in the space in which Zambians can speak freely.
Regards to Boogeyman, who is this person, and are you able to have an idea with regards to who this person is and why is he hiding? So please drop your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, and questions in the comment section, as I will be reviewing them right here and right now. So moving into the pageant world, Dr. Adam Shiri gave the world a glimpse of beauty of Zambia through the traditional dance of Halu Valley heritage. So we've seen a lot of things happening with regards to the pageant industry, but before I speak so much on Ada, have a look at this. That's a beautiful performance, Dr. Adamu Shibi, and please, please, please continue giving her her much needed support. Vote, 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 vote. Tell a friend to tell a friend to cast that free vote. You know, the pageant industry is one of those industries that just put our country in its respective position, and this is the Miss World competition taking place in Vietnam. And congratulations to our model management for doing its level best in order to see to it that the future of these girls is secured. What do I mean by this? There is a certain thing that just changes when you travel from, when you travel from your country, you go elsewhere. The exposure, the interaction, the networking, it changes a lot of things, and we've seen them doing this, and they are yet to do this. We've also seen our very own Kunda Mamlima right there in Vietnam as she was attending the press conference in readiness for Miss Cosmo. We've also seen the former Miss World or Miss World 2025, Faith Boalia, right there in Vietnam, just giving that the much needed cheer to their friend and sister Ada. A lot of things have been said about Ada. Is she really, really a doctor? There is one social media personality, an advocate for that matter, that came up to ask this question. Well, it brought a lot of mixed feelings. A lot of people were saying no, she was asking from a place of innocence and ignorance. She just wanted to find out. The other people were saying no, she was alleging that Ada is a clinical officer by profession. But I think the Miss World pageant is a very big pageant, and it comprises of a lot of judicators, a lot of people, a lot of intelligent people who just dig deeper with regards to particular candidates. And before we even go to Vietnam, right here in Zambia, our model management, I think they're well vested. And for them to just address her to say, doctor, it is indeed true, she is a doctor. I also saw a response from the social media personality, Omukalamba Tupin Chanel, saying, you know what, long gone are those days when we used to see a doctor, by kontama, by engineer, bakote. Young people have taken life by storm. They have set it ablaze. They are going after their goals like nobody's business. While in most industries, you find young doctors. In the media, you find a lot of young people. They are taking their positions. So let's just adjust and get inspired, and especially with regards to women supporting women. On a sad trend, we have the death of legendary country musical icon Dolly Parton passing away. This has also spoken a lot about what kind of a person she was. And a lot of people have learned the fact that the I Will Always Love You was just a cover done by Whitney. And also the fact that Dolly and Whitney used to be really, really close friends. And from the royalties that she gained, over $10 million, she invested that into charity. What a loving woman she was. And we've also seen the United States President Donald Trump also just declaring to say the flag throughout the USA will fly at half-mast, in just, paying homage and tribute to Dolly Parton. And she's been not just an American name, but she's been a global name. I remember growing up, I would hear my older sisters playing her songs, and one of my favorite songs done by Dolly Parton is Coat of Many Colors. It speaks a lot, and one thing that I can't take away from Dolly Parton is her creativity and ability to just write songs, compose, and meaningful lyrics. There's a lot to be said about her death, and one thing that I can tell you about my country people is that they will never cease to make light of any moments. I've seen a lot of people saying no, mwaya bwangu. So it's quite funny, but in a good way. And this is to say impact has been made. Well, she was born in 1946 and passed away in 2026. This is to say she died at the age of 80. congratulations to Dolly Parton. I've also seen Miley Cyrus, or popularly known as Hannah Montana, just taking to her socials on Instagram, expressing her sadness and just cherishing the moments that she shared with Dolly Parton. She said she was a mentor, and most of the activities that the anti-niece type of activities, they were mostly off stage. And she wasn't just a musical icon, she was an actress. We've seen her in a number of projects, and all we can say is may her soul rest in eternal peace. Now, it is in moments such as these when I tend to ask myself a question to say, ngachafika pajine, how am I going to be remembered? How am I going to be mourned? What sort of impact, what sort of legacy am I engraving on the sands of time? This should be your question, and this would take you back to default settings to just live right, do good by people, and leave a lasting impact. Well, we are still on the sad trends. Apart from Dolly Parton, we have our very own Mr. Mtoto Kafuaya, who was, he passed away as well, and we saw government reaching out to the family to just accord him a state funeral because he served the nation as minister. He also served the nation as member of parliament and a lot more other positions, and we saw the relatives also saying they just want a private funeral, and government has just said, you know what, let us respect the wishes of the family. And I think for funerals, we need to really respect the wishes of the family. And quite sensitive moments. We also saw another trend, and this was a story that was issued by Millennium TV to say the remains of Honorable Mtoto Kafuaya were found naked, and there was just a wristwatch. Well, investigations into that story are ongoing, and should anything else come up, we will be able to inform you, even as ICU TV, where we are still looking at what is trending on social media. Let's just let love lead, and let's see to it that we respond and comply to the responsible use of social media. One thing that I can assure you is digital footprints have a lasting impact on your professional life, your emotional life, as well as your psychological and mental life. And even as we type in our comment sections, let's know that behind that screen, behind that picture, there is a person. So for these and other trends, feel free to tune into ICU TV as we keep you informed and inspired. And it is that time of the show where I don't really like to announce my departure, especially if I'm the one hosting. Chila Kosuksal, and the fact the show has come to an end, because we love being with you, we love informing you, and we need to go so that we look for other stories and just what is happening on our notice board. Stay tuned to our news update coming this afternoon at 12 hours, as well as our main news slated for 18:30. Also stay tuned to a little surprise program that we have for you. And on behalf of the entire ICU TV production crew, and on behalf of my director Emmanuel Zimba, I am Misha Kinjakwa Edgars. Stay tuned to ICU TV and ICU TV News and our website at www.icutvzm.com. Good morning and enjoy the rest of the day.